Alright, welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore Season 3, Episode 16, I think, on day 795. So, since the last episode, I went ahead and built up this creeper farm. So, that is all nice and dandy. I'm getting a bit of frame lag, I just realized. Everything should be fine. I don't know why I'm laggy at the moment. But, I'm really laggy right now. I don't know what's up. But if I come down here, this is what it looks like underneath the slab thing. It's pretty ridiculous. You're going to see just when I fly down here. Jeez, it's loud. Look at that. That is ridiculous. I'm losing some gunpowder, though, because they're landing on the sides, so I might have to put down some glass and stuff, but Jesus Christ, dude. It's so loud. It's so loud. I might have to turn off the old hurt sound just because that, like, ankle breaking sound is so loud with the old hurt sound, but I'm definitely going to have to get an off switch for this thing because it's ridiculous. Like, this has been maybe 5 minutes of AFKing. Is this? Why is? Oh, I guess that should be on. But yeah, this farm is ridiculously good. But other than that, there's not really anything new. I meant to move the sugarcane farm down into the agriculture section, but I forgot to do that by the looks of things. I might restart my game here because I get weird. I'm getting some bad frame lag. Let me try turning off this machine, see if that helps. But also, since the last episode, while I was building that up, this was going the entire time, and this is what every chest looks like. We went from having practically 0 iron last time to having almost 4 double chests full. At least, like, 3. Oh, my God. Look at that, dude. Look at that shit. I don't think we're going to have to worry about gunpowder ever again, because that is ridiculous. I'm definitely going to need an off switch for that thing. But today, the main thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up this storage unit and getting it so that all the items from all of our farms that we've made so far come into this storage system. Except for the ink farm, because the ink farm deposits its items in the nether, which I want to show you guys something. This farm, I'm just going to say it, is horrible. It's not working correctly for some reason. First of all, a lot of zombie pigmen spawn. And, like, that's not the biggest problem, but if I come over here, that's practically all the ink I have. That's it. That's all of the ink. Almost all of it, anyways. So, I'm gonna probably have to, break this farm and redo it. I've built this farm before, and it worked so well. I was getting a shitload of black dye, but for all the black concrete we need for this area, I'm gonna need a shitload of black dye. So, I need, like, for this whole layer, I need 1 black dye for every 8 blocks in this, I think. So, yeah. But also, with the actual knowledge of how much iron and gunpowder I get from these farms, I'm starting to think that this is not enough storage for not only these farms, because I want to have a bunch of other farms here as well. So I might extend this out a couple blocks and then make even more, not only make the storage areas higher, but at the same time add like 2 rows on or something, like to each side, So this whole square here is an entire chunk. So I'm thinking, what if I move these chests back too, so that I can get these couple extra rows? Although it might not be that much extra, I can add extra height to it. Because basically how it's gonna work is for every item, like all the iron, if I want iron to be sorted into one of these chests, it's gonna have to go into the entire row of chests. Meaning we need to extend it outward more as well, which is kind of the reason I figured I should get a new expands outwards, because one thing I want to have in the passive mob section over here is I want to have a wool farm. I want to have this farm that has all I think it's 16 colors of wool, and I want it to just like produce wool for me, you know, so that means that 16 of these rows most likely will have to be wool. But at the same time, for things like that where it requires so much, I could probably give it its own storage system. So I'm thinking I push this out 2, maybe 3 blocks, and then make it like a couple chests higher, and then call this good. I don't want to have like a shitload. I don't know. But you also have to remember all of that sugarcane that we have produced. I want to keep sugarcane production going to make sure that I have enough sugarcane to last us this entire world until I die. So I'm gonna need a stupid amount of storage for just the sugarcane alone. I think like this to the left of my crosshairs will like all be full of sugarcane with what I have now, not including future production of sugarcane. So I'm definitely going to have to expand it somewhat. I'm thinking I tear these chests down, add an extra row, and then put down the chests. So I'm going to get a bunch more wood so that I can add more chests, and then I'll see you guys when I finish expanding it. Okay, so I don't know how noticeable it is, but this is now, the chests were pushed back by 3 blocks, and I think I added an extra layer or 2 on top of all of this, and I readjusted the markings for the water streams accordingly. But if I put down the shulker box, yeah, that's how much iron I have. So it's quite a bit, but I kind of, I haven't said this yet, I don't think, but one thing I want to do is a lot of these farms that I've built, like this one and especially the creeper farm, there's no way you can really make these things look super pretty, but I don't want everything to just be made out of stone, this dull gray color, especially with so much gray on the walls and stuff. So I think eventually I'm gonna like change everything, all the stone, and to like quartz, maybe some nice white color, and then I'm gonna change these to like quartz slabs or something like that, just so that it can look nicer. So thinking ahead of time for this sorting system, instead of stone for all the redstone stuff, I'm going to probably build it out of iron blocks, because I do not have a lot of quartz to make it out of quartz. But at the same time, if I want to redo it later, I'll have to completely break the sorting system, and then to do that, I'll have to stop all farm production so that there's no items flowing into the system while it's broken. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, but at the same time, I don't want to use all. I don't know if I have I think this is enough, but this does require a lot of hoppers. Like, I'm gonna need a hopper behind every single one of these chests, and then I'm gonna need, I think, a little bit more. And that's also not accounting for when I make the creeper farm and iron farm link up to the system. I don't know how many more I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna do some calculations and pray that my math is correct, because most of the time it is not correct. And then I'm going to update you guys here and there on what kind of progress I've made. So I just spent a while getting all of the materials I need for this. I do have enough iron, and I made all the hoppers still. And then I realized a grave error that I've made that's gonna cost... I just realized I can't... Okay, let me just explain it. So my original plan, right, was to have it so that there's just a water stream going all the way around this thing, so that, you know, it can go into the hoppers, so it can sort itself. However, water only flows for 8 blocks. No big deal. Just put an ice, a slab on top, you know, like you usually do, and put another water source block. There's a problem with that. That block with that I'll have to put ice on will skip this like a layer. And I can test it here actually. So like if I were to do like this, and then I can just keep going like that. Let me get a slab out, which I believe I have in here. Yep. So the water would go like here, right? So if I put, not there, there, and I were to throw a block. Oh, okay, it does slide through. It does slide through, but on a hopper, it might not. Let me test that. There's the hopper, and let's throw a block. I suppose I should fill it first, and then get rid of that. Let's just throw a few blocks. Yeah, they get stuck on the hopper. Oh, that means it's gonna require more hoppers, because I'll have to use specifically hoppers to let the items transfer, and not... Oh, come on. I'll have to use only hoppers, meaning it's gonna take more blocks, more hoppers to create, which means I have to go farming even more damn wood. If I go into my statistics real quick and go to times crafted, I've crafted 20,000 dark oak planks. That is... Oh, that's so ridiculous. Actually, what if we can go to times mined? I've mined 5,000 dark oak logs. I need a tree farm. I think that's what this means. I really, really need a tree farm. So I went and got a bunch of extra hoppers just in case, which is good because I don't think I would have even had enough hoppers to just get them in place here with what I had before. So I'm glad that I just went ahead and got a bunch more. Basically what I've been doing is I've just been going over to the witch farm, to the dark oak wood, the dark oak forest there, and just mining out a bunch of trees. So I still have this much left, which should definitely be enough to finish the rest of the sorting system. I'm pulling up a picture just to see, and I think I need 2 more rows of hoppers on top of this. So this might have to be... Well, it wouldn't actually have to be pushed up, will it? No, I don't think it will. So these next ones are kind of the important ones, because these are where I have to... This is where the sorting system is actually going to come into play, and I'm going to have to do some fancy redstone. It's not actually that hard. Sorting systems are not that difficult. Once you build your first one, it's like, oh, that was really easy, and then you can pretty much do it from memory. Like, I have a reference picture up just in case, but I think even without it, I could probably get this right. So now I'm going to get into placing all of the redstone and iron blocks. So yeah, I'm going to have to get all of these out, and I will update you guys when the rest is pretty much finished. Okay, so It's finished. And it looks insane. If I fly over here and just look back, that looks even crazier than it did with just the chest. I thought it was like, when I saw it with the chest, it was like, holy shit, this thing is insane. But now it's just even more insane. So it's not that complex, basically. So when the water is going to be here, and it's going to push the items into these hoppers, right? And these hoppers are going to be locked, so that I'm going to have 4 filler items here, and then 41. Okay, so let's say this row here, I want to store sugarcane. This is going to have 4 filler blocks like that, and then in this empty slot, there will be 41 sugarcane. And as soon as that number goes over 41, it'll dispense items into the hoppers below it. If it goes above 41, all the way to the bottom. And because there's filler blocks here, if I put like redstone there, it would only store, only the sugarcane can get into this hopper, meaning that only the sugarcane can get into this row. And then these top hoppers are just these top hoppers are just for the items to move through. So if it's in this hopper, it's going to basically check if it can go into this hopper. So let's just say this is sugarcane again. If a sugarcane is in this hopper, if it sees that there's sugarcane, it'll go into here first. But if there's not sugarcane, it'll keep going. So all the items will just loop through this whole system until they find the right chest, and they'll sort themselves. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how it works. So up next is to basically pick where we're going to store items, and then we can just connect them up to the system. I'll build the water streams first, but I'm thinking so that no water stream has too many items to prevent overflow, like items from overflowing and kind of clogging up the system. I think we should work on this. We should do this thing where, so this quadrant, all the items from this quadrant will go to the left, so that water stream. All of the items in this quadrant will go to the left, so that water stream. And if we just do that with every single thing, and we kind of, I guess that won't entirely work, but if we kind of split where items go, we should be able to prevent backups. But I think that the iron farm, things like the iron farm where there's so much coming in, same with the creeper farm, might cause a little bit of backup in the system, but I don't think it'll be that bad. So I'm gonna get to work on sorting where things will go. So I'm gonna need a lot of filler blocks for this. I think for the start, I'm just gonna kind of put in all of the filler blocks, and then when I'm going through deciding where things will be stored, then I can put in the items such as iron ingots and gunpowder, which just reminded me. So, as you guys know, if I come down here, iron golems don't only drop iron ingots, they drop roses, or poppies, sorry. So if I go into here, you're going to see there's a lot of poppies. So I'm thinking of what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook those up to a composter so that those automatically get turned into bone meal, and then the bone meal will come up through the system into here, so we could have some bone meal stored in here as well. Therefore, we eliminate the need for bones ever, and we will never have to go back to our skeleton grinder to get them. Also, I think I'm gonna need ladders. I think I can maybe... No, I can't reach that top one. Oh, I can, but it boosts me out. I think if I put, like, stairs here, I could still... Or something, I could still access these. I'll figure it out later. But for now, I'm going to get to work. Okay, so down here in the storage area, I've marked out locations for where we can store things. So all of these rows are for iron. all of these rows are for gunpowder, and all of these rows are for sugarcane, which obviously we need a ton of storage for sugarcane. Like, I feel like a couple of these, maybe even 3 or more, are going to be completely filled up with the amount of sugarcane we have up there, let alone the amount that's going to be produced in the future. But after we start getting these materials rolling in for a while, I can adjust them accordingly to see if we really need this amount of gunpowder storage or this amount of iron storage. I'm probably going to completely shut down sugarcane production when 1.16 comes out, because we already have plenty as of now, so that'll probably be what's going on. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get these water streams in here, and then I can start hooking up items into the... Or I can start hooking up the farms into the stream. I have some black glass, and I'm going to get more glass smelting so that I can get a good amount of black glass going for this. I'm not going to go all the way. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the end of spawn chunks just yet. I might go out like 50 blocks in each direction for now. I think that'll cover all of the farms. I think everything should be able to filter in there. So then down there, I'll create a storage system, like a central one, that then funnels over and up into this stream. And then it'll fall into the hoppers and come over here until it finds chests that it can fit to. Same with the gunpowder. I'm just going to... The collection system... I actually might want to make it come in through here. But the only problem with doing that is if it comes into this stream, it's going to have to go all the way around before it can get into the storage unit. But it just makes more sense because the collection system for the gunpowder stops over there, so that it should just come up and over into this stream. It makes more sense to do that. So I might switch around the location for where we store gunpowder so that it works better and it can get to its items faster. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna get to work on this. I'm gonna need ice for this, so I'm gonna go stop at the frozen ocean biome to the north and get some, and then we can get to work on this thing. Okay, so I have these streams set up now. It's pretty simple. I just have the slabs so that the items will slide under on the ice, and then there's another slab on top to stop mobs from spawning on them. They go out 40 blocks in each direction, and I have this little stopper so the items don't shoot off onto the chests, so they'll just fall right into the hoppers and go through the system. I'm not sure how I'm going to, like, put the items into the system. I'm thinking that, like, here's what I'm thinking. On every single one of these blocks, I'll have 2 droppers here and here, so that it's nice and uniform, symmetrical, and so that there's not, like, dispensers at random points here and there. So I'm probably going to add the droppers here and here on every side, and then have the water elevators on the lead up right behind them, and lead them into hoppers, which will take them into the dropper. I think I'm going to hook up the gunpowder farm first, just because it comes from a single chest and it's pretty easy to link up. So I'm thinking that it'll come into this dropper here and then be shot out here, and it'll go through the system. I might move the gunpowder, and then I think I'll move it. See, the sugarcane's here, so if I move the gunpowder, I might have to move the sugarcane. I think I'll leave it for now, and but if I leave it for now, it'll be difficult to change later. Ugh. The gunpowder farm is turned off right now, so it's not that big a deal that I fix it right away. But for now, I think I'm going to just leave it. I'll decide before I turn the gunpowder farm back on. But You guys might have noticed this through the video, but I've been getting weird frame lag. And I think it's because not only do I have a shit computer, but I think it's just because it's having trouble rendering all the hoppers and all the shit that's going on here. So I reduced my render distance down a couple more chunks to 14, and I think it's fine for now. I hope it's not like this everywhere. I hope it's just like this in spawn chunks. But yeah, I'm gonna get to work hooking up this gunpowder farm, and then I'll update you guys, and then I'll hook up the iron farm. And yeah, I think that'll be the end of the episode probably. Okay, so I have built up a system here. So it's pretty simple. There's the bubble elevator comes up. This is a bubble elevator, even though the bubbles are not rendering. And so the items come up and they go into the hopper, which push them into this dropper. And then I have a system here which detects when there's an item in the dropper and then dispenses it. So it'll shoot out whenever it finds that there's an item in it. The water stream carries it down, and then it goes into the hopper system. And the items, if I come down here, I'll show you guys. The items get into the water elevator in the same way. So now, instead of a chest, there's hoppers, and it leads them over here. There's, once again, a dropper, which detects, there's the system again, to detect when there is an item in the hopper, and it shoots out. So we're going to do some testing here. I'm going to take some of this gunpowder we have, and just shoot it into there. There we go. It's going nice and fast, and if we come up here, I'll have to change this one. Whoa. Because it's going to overflow if I don't change this one. I thought the tick would be needed, but it's not. Oh, I'm picking them up. And then they go into the system, which hopefully they start funneling into the right chest. Yes! Oh, it works. This system works. Let's go, dude. Oh my god. That's great. That is great. I'm actually just gonna just do this. And so what's gonna happen is it's gonna, oops, I should probably get this out too. When this chest overflows, the chest above it will start, and then again, it'll just keep filling up, and once this row is filled up, it'll fill up the hoppers, so then this will start filling up, and then this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So yeah, we have a proper system working here. Yep. It's still slow. Like that. Wait, that's the longest delay. That's what I want. That's right. I'm an idiot. There we go. Now it's going full speed. Can I? Yeah, so there's still some items in the dropper. The dropper has enough room to where if it overflows, it should be fine, though. So I think this is all fine and dandy. I might want to get a glass block here. I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, that could cause an issue. I don't know where that glass block went. But I'm going to set up a similar system with the iron farm. I'm going to make some sort of central storage unit for this thing. And then all of it, from that central storage unit, it will be funneled up into the water elevator. Or it'll be funneled into the water elevator, which will push it up into the stream. And then the same thing with the gunpowder will happen there with the iron. Okay, so I have this same system built up over here. I have a filtration system which filters out the poppies here into these chests, and I'm eventually going to make a little composting section where it turns into bone meal and then filters up into the system through that way. So that's what that's just here for. I originally had these hoppers hooked up here, but I realized that having all 4 of these modules filter into the same system might not be the best idea. So I'm going to just quickly drain. Once I connect this, these 2 chests are going to start going through the system. So I'm gonna kind of empty all of these out and then see if having them all filter into one line will work. I don't know if it'll break or not, get backed up. But that means the items are going to start filtering through. Hopefully we only see iron any day now. What's... Oh, it's all poppies, isn't it? Okay. Well, it looks like... Here, let me just put in some iron and see if that works. Yep. Okay, it's going up. That works. And then it should be shot out. Ooh, I forgot the water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't have a second bucket on me. Oh, no. Shoot. This is a bit annoying. I should just have another bucket of water here, and then I can just go over here and get more water. Just like that, and just go back. Yeah, this thing is looking insane, though. All of Spawn Chunks is looking crazy cool. It's not, like, the prettiest of builds, you know, but, like, I still like it. I think that there's a sort of chaotic beauty to this whole thing. But now we should get iron filtering in. Yep. Okay, so we know that the filter works, and we know that the iron properly gets through into the system. So I'm just going to wait a little bit and see if... To wait for the iron to all filter in, and then I'll hook up the second system, these two modules to it, so that it all is being filtered into the system. And then I'm going to end off the episode. I think this is gonna be the last episode that we tinker or we build stuff at Spawn Chunks here. We've been here working at Spawn Chunks, blowing it all up, mining things out for quite a while now, so I think it's just best that we... Okay, it's just filtering in so fast that I can't even see it. That's wild. We've been here quite a while still, right? And I just think that it's gonna get to a point soon enough where it's tiring to be here. I'm just gonna dispose of all this, honestly, just so we can have the system working properly. But yeah, so I have a few other ideas for farms and machines that I'm gonna do here. Like, I'll move the sugarcane farm into the agriculture section soon, and then there are a few other things I want to do. First of all, in the agriculture section, I want to get a kelp farm going, right? And this kelp farm can link up into a furnace, into a super smelter, so that I'm smelting kelp and getting a bunch of fuel, so that I don't have to rely completely on coal. And then I also want to make, in this section, I want to make a tree farm so that I don't have to mine trees as much. And I want to make a super smelter. Those are two of the things I want. And then also sometime soon, we're going to need a blast chamber hooked up to a concrete converter so that I can get all of the black concrete for the bedrock down below quickly. So yeah, those are kind of the main plans I have for this area. And then I think I mentioned this, but I'd also like, just for the future, to have a 16 sheep wool farm that has all the different dyes. So that would be a cool thing to have. But yeah, so between episodes, I'm gonna move the sugarcane farm, hook it up to the system, and turn it back on. Maybe do some other things here and there. And then in the next episode, we can jump back to the farming village to finally do some more work there, which I am quite excited to just get back into some normal building instead of blowing things up and creating massive farms and storage systems and that sort of stuff. So, That's an issue. That must have just come from when I threw the, or when, yeah, I don't think that's an actual issue that'll occur. But, yeah, with all that out of the way, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.